Joining me now is Paul Gatling. He is the editor of the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal, part of the Talk Business and Politics family. Paul, let's begin with Walmart earnings. $3.99 billion in first quarter net income. That was extremely strong. Revenue up over 8%. That net income number I calculated there is a little almost 4% higher than a year ago. Because Walmart's quarter is February through April, we are seeing some of the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic in those numbers right there. Walmart did well while others struggled, in part because they were essential, right?
Right. Well, I mean, they are the world's largest brick and mortar retailer, but it was really what caught my eye was their investments in their e-commerce capability really shine through. I mean, the online sales were up in the quarter almost 75% from last year, which is, really a remarkable number. And that's people, under stay-at-home orders who are limiting their trips. And so when they make those online trips for groceries and other essentials, they're stocking up as opposed to maybe setting foot in a store 2 to 3 times a week. I'm buying things for once every 2 weeks. So yeah, the online capability of Walmart really shined through in the first quarter. But again, very successful quarter, but Doug McMillon in a call with analysts afterwards still cautioned that it's probably going to be, they're expecting, a bumpy road ahead still for the rest of the year. I think he termed it as a two-step approach, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and and that's dependent on a lot of variables when you're talking about testing and tracing of employees and state and federal guidelines that are all going to influence how Walmart operates. So it's still, I think you said, we're going to tell you about the first quarter right now, and in August we'll tell you about the second quarter. They've pulled guidance like a lot of S&P companies have this earnings season just because of the instability, maybe unpredictability of the world economy right now.
And while there are plenty of voices out there that say they should be doing more, Walmart did dole out over $900 million in extra pay and in new hiring over the last quarter right there to help with some of those folks that were on the front line of the pandemic. Well, it's been the response to that, and it clearly didn't hurt their bottom line.
Well, they've also they've hired about 225,000 workers during the past couple of months as the pandemic arrived. So that's added to a workforce of about 1.5 million people already. So yeah, the response is their business model is changing, adding 200 and something thousand people to a large workforce already. There are concerns about keeping all of those people safe, especially adding that many people to the workforce that you already have. So that's going to be a continuing issue for not only Walmart, but other large operators as we move forward. But, again, analysts seem happy with the financial results that Walmart put up. And so as we move forward, the test will be for Walmart to remain nimble. I think one analyst that we talked to said it best: Walmart is a machine that keeps on running. And if that machine can keep running through this pandemic and this crisis that we're all enduring right now, that's a machine that's built for pretty much anything. So it's a proven business model. It's a stable and durable business model, but it's also a business model that is nimble enough to adapt the way they have the past couple of months, and will have to continue to adapt in terms of how they operate, in terms of worker safety, in terms of taking care of their workers for the rest of the year at least.
You mentioned online sales. The other biggie from that earnings report was that Walmart is going to shut down Jetcom, their big online retail acquisition a few years ago that brought Mark Lorry and his team to Walmart and Walmart.com. Tell me, what did Walmart get from that deal?
Well, the acquisition, you mentioned, that was in August of 2016 for a little over $3 billion, and that gave Walmart really kind of a runway into a workforce and capabilities and products and product systems with Jet. But at the end of the day, I think just running 2 separate websites seemed to be not conducive. And then with the arrival of the pandemic, I think there just needed to be a greater focus on their online capabilities and where they were putting those efforts. They started to wind down Jet.com really last summer when they saw the writing on the wall that it really wasn't going to be a long-term play in the overall market. So Walmart.com, they've already started integrating those people and processes and operations under that umbrella. So there's no time of when Jet.com, the actual website, is going to be taken down. But I don't think it should be seen as a failure that it didn't work, because of, like you said, they got Mark Loray and many other talented tech folks as part of that acquisition.
Lastly, your thoughts on what you're seeing in Northwest Arkansas as businesses start to reopen? Is everything heading back to normal?
Normal. You know, you can't use that word normal or even that phrase new normal. This is, you know, I would not say that. You know, if it were normal, we would see traffic jams on Walton Boulevard and Bentonville and College Avenue and Fayetteville, and we would see full office buildings. We would see, you know, employers like Walmart and Tyson Foods and J.B. Hunt. We would see tens of thousands of workers at those three campuses, and we don't see that. I think those three employers are operating under, have been for a while, a June 1st return to work, which is coming up in just about a week. I'm beginning to hear that Walmart, however they return to work, because of the success that they've had of telework and their employees working from home, that may be something they're not thinking about until the end of the summer, until school starts back. But you know, we are beginning to see, I'll call it an evolution of what we're dealing with. Like you mentioned, the economy is reopening partially. Some restaurants are reopening, others aren't. Others are waiting for financial reasons or healthcare reasons. So again, it's just a change week by week as the governor makes announcements on different parts of the economy that can open. Then it's up to those individuals and operators in those sectors to determine what's best for their business and how they're going to move forward, especially as we get into the summer months and then throughout the remainder of the year.
He's Paul Gatling with the Northwest Arkansas Business Journal. You can catch his reporting daily at nwabusinessjournal.com or talkbusiness.net. Paul, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Back with more right after this.